Hello and welcome to Pedz Game Shack. This is episode 33. And today I am joined by Jeffyard. How's it going, Jeff?
Hello. It's been so long since we spoke. Yeah,
I
hope you're doing
know,
well.
I can't remember the last time we spoke. Technically speaking, this would go out before the movie podcast. So.
Oh.
Ooh.
This is, it's not the Doctor Who movie. We've not time traveled. Already done that one.
But how you doing, man? You doing well?
I am.
Been up to much?
Thinking about 50 minutes. Might go for a midnight run. Other than that, it's sort of just work, coffee. In a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake at the moment to get it complete for Rebirth. So, yeah. And unrelated to anything, but I got a text from my sort of phone. I just saying that because I've not used my phone in so long, they'll remove my number. So if I don't use it, so at lunchtime I call my brother, and he's probably thinking, "Yeah, are you dying? Why are you calling me?" So it's like, "Hi, yeah, I'm just calling you so I don't lose my number."
I didn't know they would do that. That's
Yeah,
great.
I think it for about 6 months, and yeah, it's looking. I mean, last time I did anything was back in 20th of September, sometime about then. So it's just like a little warning message, just to.
How dare they force you to use your phone? Cheeky
I know,
bastards.
right?
Cheeky bastards. Well, so as you already mentioned it, Final Fantasy VII. So we know you're playing the Final Fantasy VII remake, but what other games are you currently playing? I should explain actually, before we go on to that stuff, that we do 3 segments of the podcast. The first is currently playing, where we talk about what we're currently playing. The second is top news, where we discuss some of the news that's game related. Sometimes when Jeff is on, not game related. And third is we play together, where we discuss the game of the episode, which you obviously know what it is because it's in the title of the podcast, which is Boss and Tales to the Minotaur King, or Minotaur King, or however you say it. Prince, not King, Prince. Damn it. So, what are you? I'm a pleb. What are you playing though, dude? What are you currently playing?
So currently I've been doing some Disgaea, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cosmic Star, and Tekken 8.
Okay, so that's 4 games you're currently bashing through. How are you finding Final Fantasy VII Remake? As the first one you mentioned.
Yeah, so I played it when it was originally released back in, I believe it's April 2020. It's during the pandemic, if I recall correctly, because I think I do remember playing it whilst I was working from home. And yeah, but I got to about chapter 9, and then I think I just ended up giving up on it. Not because I wasn't liking it. I just thought I'll get to this one other day, and the other day never came. And then 4 years later, near enough, we've got part 2 of it coming out at the end of February. So I thought I'd best get a shift on. So up to chapter 16 out of 18.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, I should hopefully finish it next week, and yeah, be in a position to put Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on my back burner for 4 years until a third one comes out.
Have you played Integrate? Is it Integrate the like not side story, but like play as other characters or something?
Yeah, I think that's called Intermission.
Intermission, is it?
Yeah, Integrate, I think, is like the updated PS5 version.
Ah, right. That's what I was
Um,
getting confused with because they're similar sounding names.
yeah, it's actually a pain in the ass to find it on the PlayStation Store for PS5 because they had it on PS4 originally. So I was getting it on PS5 and I was like, what version do I get? But
Yeah.
yeah, I do have intermission, and I think that's like a 5 to 6 hour for an average gamer, so probably about 10 hours for me. But I think that's like a bit more of a smaller experience, so I do hope to get that finished as well.
That's cool. How are you finding it compared to? I'm assuming you've played Final Fantasy VII throughout, like the original
The
version.
original, yeah, it's I mean it's um I'd say it's a really good um what's a word? Um I suppose maybe not testament to the original, but it's a really good remake. It is different to the original. Like the original is, I mean, obviously there's a graphical fidelity as compared to the PlayStation One. So in terms of the graphics, there's a massive difference. Um, the story in remake, it's sort of focusing on the first portion of the game in Midgar, so they've expanded it, changed a few details here and there. Um, but the gameplay system as well is something that's changed because the original was sort of your turn-based RPG, as this one's got a bit more action to it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's I'd say it's a completely different experience. But one that has the it's got the core um story and core elements running running through it.
Are you hoping they do more Final Fantasy remakes in this style, like 6, 5, 7, 8? Sorry, or 7's already in the middle of 9. I know they're remaking 9, in they? But it's going to be more like 9 was, isn't it? Or has it
Yeah,
been
I've
not
heard.
not not as much of an upgrade?
Um, I mean, the Final Fantasy 9, I think currently, as it stands, is just a rumor. Um,
Yeah.
albeit one that has been sort of supported by some leaks, but nothing confirmed as yet. Um, I've also heard that, also heard that we've moved to doing a anime based on FF9 or
Hmm.
some sort of show. So yeah, it's definitely something I'd like to see for different Final Fantasy games. I think 6 would be a big one. Um, so I mean, 8's my favorite. It's I think 7 works well as a remake because um, I guess everybody's sort of enjoyed the story to it. They enjoyed the characters, whereas some of the other Final Fantasies that didn't get as, or I suppose where there's been a bit more less critical acclaim for it. Um, it's yeah, but I think either way, if they decide to remake another Final Fantasy, I'd definitely grab it. Um, and I know some people will sort of argue that making such grand changes that it's not something that they're enjoying. But I've always thought, if it's not something that I prefer, I can always go back to the original
Yeah.
game, and they're always widely available. So some people were saying that they'd just want Final Fantasy VII, but with updated graphics. They didn't want any changes to the story or of anything extra. It's like, well, a lot of people have modded the original Final Fantasy VII, so just play one of the mods, and experience the original story if that's your thing.
That's fair. That's fair. How about the other games you've been playing then? So you said Final Fantasy VII, Tekken 8,
Yep.
Cosmic Star Heroine,
Yep.
and what was the other one?
Disgaea.
Oh yeah, Disgaea. How's Disgaea going?
That's going all right. It's my first time playing it, so I've been playing through with Trini, and she's been guiding me. I'm not too sure how long it is. I think I've gotten past chapter 5. I've been leveling up my characters sort of in my spare time, so yeah, it's been different but enjoyable.
Are you normally one for playing those tactical type of games then?
No, because I think I'm too stupid for him, to be honest.
Don't be silly, Jeff.
Well, it's sort of. I think it's even the same with board games, actually, where I'm not one to have the patience to contemplate, the longer term impacts of my choices, and sort of just think about it briefly and go for the short term gains. And yeah, ultimately, I've been getting through Disgaea okay, but yeah, not without suffering casualties. So when I'm having to spend a load at the hospital to revive all the characters that I let,
Yeah, their ass is kicked. Like,
yeah,
that's just me, Jeff.
So I think I'm probably a bit too impatient for strategy games, and just not maybe not too stupid for them, but maybe I've not got the sort of mindset that would allow me to excel at those games. But I've been enjoying the experience so far.
I get what you're saying with tactical games. You've got to kind of think a little bit ahead, but sometimes you just want to have some fun, just stick your shit wherever you feel like sticking it. Fuck the consequences.
Yeah, and
well, it's not fuck the consequences. You don't think about the consequences until it's already happened and everyone's dead.
I think games like XCOM probably punish you a bit more for rushing in and not taking your time to think about everything. But Disgaea, even though I have spent a bit more at the hospital than I would have liked, I have been getting through the story okay. So
well, that's good. At least you're making progress. And chapter 5 you said, so I don't know how far in the game that is. I've only played some of Disgaea 1, and then I was like, oh, yes, I'm enjoying this. And then I didn't play much of it, and I was like, what? I don't know. I do that with games sometimes. Enjoying it, and then I'll play something else, and then I'll start playing that, and I'm like, oh, this is good. And then I'll play something else, and I'm like, oh, this is good, and I'll play.
Yeah. My first introduction to Disgaea actually was a friend lent me one on DS. I believe it's Disgaea 4. And I played it for about 5 minutes, put it to one side, and about 1 year later he asked for it back, so I obviously gave it him back. And yeah,
nay, my game, no. Possession is 9/10 of the law. So he said to him and run away with her.
Pretty much.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then he said, give it back, and it's like, fine.
How is Tekken 8 for you then. I'm more of a Street Fighter kind of guy than a 3D fighter kind of guy, but I'm awful at fighting games, like really bad. So, yeah, I was Tekken 8.
Yeah. I'm also awful at fighting games, but I'm having fun with it. I played through the story mode, and yeah, I think that the story has been really good. I won't spoil it for anybody who wants to experience it,
I
but
bet you any money people fight in it.
yeah, there's fighting. It's sort of like the conflict between Kazuya and Jin, who are father and son. It's been going on for quite a few games now, but like I guess the quality from Tekken 7 to Tekken 8, because Tekken 7, from what I remember, it just followed this random journalist. It's done like via stills, and whereas Tekken 8 is sort of all scenes, quite a lot of animation to it as well,
All right.
and action. So yeah, Tekken 7, the story was okay, but you sort of like just shut this journalist up and let's get to the next fight. Whereas Tekken 8, you can sort of sit back and you could probably do it as a movie review on your podcast at some point, to be honest. Um, and then yeah, playing it with friends as well online has been really fun. None of us are sort of like professional fighting game players, but um, obviously some of them are really good. But with at that sort of skill level where we can just enjoy it and not get too upset about any losses.
I bet you cry yourself to sleep every time, no.
I did actually get the collector's edition as well, so I got a little Jin statue.
Oh, nice.
Pretty good quality. It lights up as well. You plug it in, a wing, and yeah, I got the same. I got a similar statue for Final Fantasy 16, and I must have praised to Namco, Bandai Namco. They have produced a better quality statue than Square Enix.
Bastards, and everyone should be giving you amazing quality shit. Not shit.
I mean, for the amount you pay for them, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's I mean, the Square Enix statue is really well designed and looks nice as well, but it just feels quite plasticky, as the Jin one feels more dense. So.
That's fair. I have not played Final Fantasy 16, neither have I played Tekken 8. The last Tekken I played was Tekken 7, and I started the game, and I was Sonya, I think her name is. No, Nina Williams. Yeah, Nina. I was thinking of Sonya Blade, which is Mortal Kombat. Nina Williams, and you start off as Nina, and you have to fight Hachi or whatever his name is, and I couldn't even win that fight, so... And that's the very beginning of the game. That's how bad I am at Tekken. Yeah.
So would you pick Tekken 8 up at all? It is crossplay as well, actually. That's one other good thing.
So is Street Fighter 6.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tekken 8, I probably wouldn't pick up. I grabbed 7 on the off chance. I played it once. I'm just so bad at fighting games. I rarely get them. I grabbed Street Fighter 6 because I managed to get it for a fairly decent price, but there you go.
No, that's fair.
Cosmic Star Heroine. Good game, that.
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
It is. Yeah. I think I'm on chapter 7 so far. I'm really enjoying the battle system. So for those who don't know, it's like an RPG, sort of a classic style one, similar to, I suppose, like Fantasy Star, Chrono Trigger. It's got battle systems sort of like Final Fantasy X. It's like a mixture of all these games, all these sort of classic RPGs. Yeah, it's been really fun so far. It's one that I saw you play back in 2019 or 2020, and I thought um, it's the one that I pick up right away. And then about 5 later, I've finally gotten to it.
How are you finding it exactly? Because I think it's really good.
Yeah, no, it's I I think the battle systems sort of stood out for me. It's quite I think it's quite difficult for games to make a battle system that stands out, that's quite distinct and doesn't
Mm.
just follow everything else. And I mentioned that it's similar to FF10 or Octopath, but it does focus a lot on elemental weaknesses, on different attacks. You can sort of only use one set of attacks before you have to defend, so it sort of adds a reason to want to defend. The defense functions also give you other benefits as well, other buffs. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. I do like that it's quite sci-fi focused as well. So you go to
Mm.
different planets, um, and because I think when I typically think of an RPG, it's all, especially an old school RPG, it tends to be, in my mind, just with a fantasy setting.
Yeah,
And I know I mentioned Fantasy Star, which also went to different planets. So
I don't
it's
count.
nice to have. It's nice to have something a bit more sci-fi as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I played it, as you know, like several years ago, and I was hoping they would make more stuff in the similar style, but I don't know if the company has. I haven't. I was keeping an eye on them for a while, then I stopped because I know they made like Cthulhu Saves the World, and I think the last thing I remember them releasing was Cthulhu Saves Christmas, but I haven't played them.
Yeah, it's I'm not familiar with their work at all, aside from what I've played of Cosmic Star so far. So, but yeah, I've been enjoying this one, and yeah, certainly if they did a sequel or if they did another RPG, I'd yeah, definitely be up for grabbing it.
Yeah, I'm sure the last thing I remember them doing was Cthulhu Saves Christmas. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I could be
Just to
wrong.
quote Pedz, the last game that they made was Cthulhu Saves Christmas. It's just quoting you on that.
I honestly, oh look, what's the newest release? Uh, Zeboid Digital Entertainment. This way, madness lies. Like the newest thing.
Okay.
There you go
And
then.
what games have you been playing recently?
Ooh, let's see. I've played a little bit of Fortnite with my kids.
Mm.
Uh, Same old, shooting stuff, losing. Turtles are in this, so that's cool. As in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Or as they were back in my day in the UK, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Um, I've recently been playing Robocop Rogue City. That's rather fun. Playing Robocop, just like boom, boom, and then. But it's not just about that. There is like more to it. There's like obviously side objectives. Um, is searching for evidence and clues and things. You know, it's more than just walk around shooting shit. It's a
Okay.
rather good game. If you get a chance to play, you should definitely check it out, man.
Right.
I know I'm not really selling it, but I still haven't finished it. I want to finish it, and then I was going to do a review, but I don't know if I will. But it's really good. Like, when you start off, it's like, oh yeah, it's just Robocop. You just walk around and shoot things. But like after you do the first mission, it opens up more. It's not like a big open world game, but it opens up in the sense of like you can do side activities. You speak to a psychiatrist kind of person as Robocop, which is odd. But it kind of looks at is like obviously different sides of things, and you can have different interactions, which I think give different responses from people. It's rather enjoyable. Tough in the area I was in last. I need to do some more side stuff to level up my shit. So I could be a bit tougher and not die easily. Well, I say easily. Not easily, but still die. Where else have I been playing? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Honestly, I can't think. I don't know why.
Grounded, Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, I finished Tears of the Kingdom recently, and I really enjoyed it. I actually put in more time into Tears of the Kingdom than I did Breath of the Wild. A lot of people loved Breath of the Wild. I thought it was alright. I didn't enjoy it as much as others. I still think it's a really good game, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't love it. Whereas, even though Tears of the Kingdom is the same place, and there's more to it, because of that, I enjoyed it more. Obviously, the issues for some will be there's too much. There's like all the underground stuff. There's the sky stuff. The sky stuff, some people will think it's not expanded upon enough, whereas the underground stuff is just too expansive. But because I didn't pour in like a ridiculous amount of hours like some will do to try and get everything done, I put in like 100 and something hours. So for me, that was enough. And then I just finished the game. I was like, right, okay, I'm going to crack on with the story parts of stuff now because that's what I want to do. And honestly, I think it's a better game than Breath of the Wild for the most part. I miss the bombs though. Fucking bomb flowers. What a shite. Really ever fucking had any. Most I had at once was like 8. Not enough.
You know what I'm hearing? Wah, wah, wah.
But Grounded, me and Cumberdanes have been playing on Wednesdays. We're most of the way through that now as well. That's quite fun. Even though it's got like survival aspects and they piss me off. They're not too bad. But the game is quite tough because it's a game about, gathering material, building something, using that to kill things to then build a slightly better version of it and keep on doing that. And it gets tough. Some of the stuff does. Like I said, I don't think we're too far from finishing it, but we'll see. That's all right. If you've got Game Pass on PC or Xbox, you can play it. It's worth checking out, definitely. Yeah.
So there you go. Game Pass. Tap it.
Exactly. Moving on to top news. Jeff is the one with the news today, so Jeff can introduce it.
Okay, so our first bit of news, we've got 2 items for you, is Jim Carrey is back for Sonic 3. I think at first it's sort of stated that he wouldn't appear for the third Sonic movie, but, it turns out that was wrong. He is back, or, he's sort of slated to be back anyway, and I think I've only seen the first Sonic movie, but really liked his rendition, his portrayal of Dr. Robotnik.
See, I'm more controversial in that I like Jim Carrey in the film. I think he's great, but I don't think he's great as Dr. Robotnik, if that makes sense. Like,
Because he doesn't look like him, or
no, it's because he doesn't. To me, he doesn't act like Doctor Robotnik does. In like the stuff I've seen Doctor Robotnik in, he's a very specific way. Whereas Jim Carrey is also a very specific way in his acting, in his comedic acting a lot of the time. And I think Jim Carrey just plays Jim Carrey. Not that that's a bad thing, but it doesn't to me seem like the daftness that you get from Robotnik in say Sonic Boom or something.
right?
You know?
Oh, that's fair. I think. I mean, the first Sonic movie was actually the last movie I saw prior to lockdown. I actually went to see it with some work colleagues,
Nice.
and yeah, because previously I saw the initial Sonic trailer back when Sonic looked, I say shit, and yeah, I went into the movie not having high expectations at all, so yeah, I came out of it probably feeling better about it than I would have done if I'd gone in with sort of neutral expectations because I
Yeah.
exceeded them. And yeah, I remember enjoying Jim Carrey in particular. I've not seen the second one,
Good.
but
Really good.
I
You should
think
watch it.
overall, I should. I think overall that the feeling is that people do like Jim Carrey.
I
And
can see why. He's great. Like, it's just like a good actor. He's funny and what have you. It's just he's not how I picture Robotnik in a sense. You know?
oh, that's fair.
And no, it's not because of how he looks.
Just how he acts.
Yeah, like I said, like in other things I've seen Robotnik in, he acts a very specific way, especially in the more newer stuff compared to like the old 80s 90s cartoon, sorry, 80s. And he always acts in a very specific way, and obviously you want to try and change it up a bit, but Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey in a lot of his films, and he acts a very with certain portrayals of things, he acts in a very over the top, exaggerated way, like Ace Ventura, Bruce Almighty, Doctor Robotnik. They all have very over the top kind of daftness to them, and I don't feel that's Robotnik. But at the same time, I enjoy Jim Carrey in the film, so it kind of not really an issue for me then.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And again, breaking news, guys. We have also had a spy in our midst. This was a pigeon that was accused by Indian authorities of being a Chinese spy, and it's detained for 8 months before being released. And do you know why it was released?
Because it had a sticker on it saying it was from a different place.
You know what? You're pretty close with why it is detained. I'll give you that. So it is detained because it had 2 rings, I believe, tied around its legs with what appear to be Chinese writing, Chinese symbols. It turns out it's actually a racing pigeon from Taiwan that has escaped
Right.
and gone over a border. Obviously,
Can't even trust pigeons nowadays.
you can't trust anything, right? I think I saw. I didn't read any article or watch any video. I just saw like the um, title for a YouTube video as about all these smart toothbrushes being subject to a DDoS attack. So You can't trust your pigeons. You can't trust your toothbrushes. What
Jesus
can you
Christ,
trust?
it's mad, isn't it, to think your toothbrush is going to fuck up on him?
I know. So,
Oh,
yeah,
dear it.
it's how a Terminator starts, guys. That's
With
it.
the
Toothbrushes.
toothbrushes. Can you imagine? Dun, 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 dun. It all started
Red.
with toothbrush fucking comes over the sink.
A toothbrush says, "I'll be plat."
Jeff. That's terrible.
Oh wow, do you think of a better toothbrush Terminator joke?
Don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't know
I don't
because you
know.
can't.
I can't.
It's
No.
impossible.
I know. I
Literally
agree.
impossible. There you go, guys. Watch out for pigeons.
Carefully be
You know,
smart, toothbrush.
there you go.
Well, then, we play together. The game is Blossom Tales 2, the Minotaur Prince.
That's all.
And I got it right that time straight away, I think. And it's obviously it's a follow up to Blossom Tales, but I can't remember the subtitle for the first game. Because I think it had one.
Was
it was
it
like
the Sleeping King.
The Sleeping King. Yeah, that's what it was. That's why I got King confused. Yeah, that's why I got King confused. The Sleeping King, which we played for the podcast. You didn't play that much of it because you then streamed it like a git. But I played it near completion, I think. Like I've done with this one, I think I've nearly finished it. But I haven't finished it. How have you gone on with this, Stan?
So similar to the first one, I've not played quite as much, maybe about an hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I got distracted by the fishing. So, but yeah, I've played maybe about an hour and a half, I'd say.
How are you finding it so far?
I enjoyed the first one. I think I beat that in maybe about 9 hours, 10 hours. This one, um, I like how it gives you a nice little tutorial at the start, especially fighting the different enemies when you get to choose. So it sort of introduces you to the combat. The puzzles that I've encountered so far in sort of the first few areas have been fairly straightforward, nothing too obtuse. Also not like I suppose it's stuff that makes you feel clever once you figure it out. And like scaring the ghosts away with the lights. I've enjoyed the first boss as well, which again interesting boss mechanics and yeah, it is just a really good. I think I said it with the first one, and I say it with this one. It's a really good love letter to Zelda, to sort of the classic Zelda games.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I said it with the first game, but it really it reminds me of top down classic Zelda, but more than anything, it makes me think of the Game Boy Zelda games specifically. The feel of the game and some of the things that are mentioned makes me think of that more than like Link to the Past. It makes me think of Link's Awakening and the Oracle games.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Link's Awakening is it's the only Zelda game I've completed, and I've got really
Disgusting.
real soft spot for that game. because it was one of the few games that I had in Game Boy Color. So, yeah, but it's going to Blossom Tale and Blossom Tales 2. It's nice sort of, as I say, it's good to be able to experience that kind of game again.
One thing I'm liking about this game, I don't know if you've come across it yet, but you don't buy potions in this game. Again, like I think in the first game, I think
witches.
Yeah, you bought potions and stuff, but in this you can just get a health potion, and then as long as you got the ingredients, you can just make them whenever you want, as long as you've got a pot. So not whenever you want, but as long as which is still easier than buying potions. Though you tend to get a lot of money quite easily a lot of the time, but just dig in and going into people's houses and smashing up their stuff. Walk in, talk to someone, then just break all their ornaments or their chairs, open their chests and walk off. Not care in the world.
As I says, making a fair amount of progress, and then the fishing mini game became available, and it just went around fishing everywhere and just selling all the fish.
Terrible. Terrible. Yeah, I've made it through a fair whack. I've still got. I think I'm nearing the end, but I've still got a fair whack of space for items. I'm not sure if it's going to be various bottles or maybe there's more to the game than I realise. I don't know, but there's definitely still space there for like another, I don't know, 6 or so items, maybe more. Right. I don't know.
Yeah, imagine if you've committed yourself to like another 100-hour game like Tears of the Kingdom.
No. Leave me alone. But like I know there's some things I got to go back and sort out. I got to find more diamonds. I've got to find more statues that you put like fruit on. I think I've still got a jar or 2 I can buy. There's bits and bobs like that, but overall, I think if I wanted to, I could maybe finish the game. I think I'm in the final dungeon, but I don't know if it's going to be, there's another dungeon or something, because I don't know. You never know. Never know.
Yeah. I mean, I remember with the first game, I think there's certainly one puzzle that I did have to Google. I think it's to access like one of the dungeons as well. I think the answer was something really basic that I just missed out on. I do like how this one sort of gives you a bit of a range when you like a bit of a shadow, I think, for when you're doing your attacks to allow you to determine what range you'll be hitting and stuff. So that's a nice sort of addition.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I think there's some nice. I don't know if there's like a lot of quality of life improvements. It seems like pretty similar. It's just got like a new story. It's not set like in the same place. Like it does reference like later on you can get an instrument from a bard. And he's like, oh yes, you can get this flute. And like Chrys is like, oh, you already didn't she already have a flute back in the other story? And then oh shit, what's the girl's name again?
It begins with L, right?
Lily. Yeah. Lily. Lily's like, no, that's the other stories you're thinking of with the boy or something like that. So it's referencing Zelda there, and then you can pick between 2 different instruments that are not an ocarina. Because that's one thing I like about these games is because it's a story being told to grandchildren. they sometimes bicker about certain things, and then you decide on which one of their things. Like, it doesn't seem to change anything drastically, but it does, like, you can have a different fight or something happen. Oh no, it's pirates.
Yeah.
No, I think it should be werewolves, or, you know, I don't think it's werewolves in it, but I'm just giving an example. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I think that beginning fight is quite an interesting one as well, where it sort of gives you different options, and then you get to fight different enemies, and then yeah, even with the guy, the kid, comes in and gets defeated, and then he's like, but I came back, sprung into action, and defeated my sister. And he
Yeah.
gets transported. It's
Naughty
nice
boy.
having
Yeah, overall, I'm really enjoying the game. I'm going to finish the game. I think I'm near the end, but I want to crack on with a couple of things because I'm like, aha, this thing is saying I need to do something, but I need something else first. So I want to work out how to do that before I finish the game. But then I'm going to crack on. Ow, I banged my elbow. But what about you, man? Are you going to crack on the game? Or are you going to wait a little bit longer and give it a stream like you did with the first game? Or
You know what? I think I might stream it. So yeah, it'll probably be a Saturday stream at some point.
oh, nice. What are you playing on Saturdays again?
Currently it's Cosmic Star. I know I did it today, but that's because we've rejigged Disgaea, possibly tomorrow.
All right. There you go then. You should check out Jeff when he's streaming Awesome Tales 2. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. Just don't get hooked on the fishing again.
I'll try not to.
Brilliant. I think that about wraps us up. I think it's a bit shorter this episode than normal, but at the end of the day, there's no set limit. It comes in as it comes in. But anything you would like to plug, Jeff?
Yeah, tune in to Peds's Pugsley Review movie review channel for some Midnight Run coming soon.
Midnight Run,
Starring
and
me.
it's going to be starring Jeff. Going to be talking about the film Midnight Run on Pugsley Crew Reviews with Jeffy. Not Kerr this time. And also don't forget to check out Jeff on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jeffyard. Then JEFFYARD. Jeffyard.
Can talk about pigeons and toothbrushes.
Thank you very much for taking part, dude. It's a pleasure as always.
No problem.
And goodbye to everyone who's listened, and thank you very much for tuning in. I will see you in a fortnight. Bye-bye.
Hey.